Welcome everybody to another episode of The Paycheck, where me, Pay, your host, will be checking the culture with interesting guests. And today my guest is Mr. John Agésilas. I just learned how to pronounce his last name the right way. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we are sitting in a different location this time because we are on location in his spot, the Foundation, which we will be talking about a little bit more in a little bit. But I really am excited to have you as a guest because you have done so much for the culture. Wow. I mean, yeah, if this is a show about the culture, what better way to have people talking about the culture and have actually contributed and are part of it. And you, sir, definitely are one. Dancer, DJ, choreographer, entrepreneur, businessman, producer, teacher, whatever, yes.
Father,
yes.
Husband,
yes.
Son,
brother.
brothers, yeah.
So welcome. I'm actually really excited to have your story documented through the Paycheck. So first of all, we're going to start at the very, very beginning.
Wow.
We don't have to do a long story. We could just go through it real fast, real short. You came to the Netherlands, but my first question is, how did the culture grab you? And we're talking specifically about hip hop or dance.
Well, I was in Ghana because my mom is from Ghana, my father's from Paris. I was very passionate about dance when I saw 𝗬𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗥𝗏𝗏 dancing to the Jones and Crew on the video, because my aunt used to send us VHS so we could watch movies, but every time between the movies you had Soul Train or dance programs or video clips. And when I saw 𝗬𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 popping, doing robotic on television, I was like amazed, and I always wanted to do that. But the thing is, I come from a family where music was like very important. My mom was listening to high life, disco and funk, and my dad was listening to classical music. So I would wake up with Beethoven, and in the afternoon I'll be listening to reggae.
Nice.
𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 or Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, and so forth. And then, so I was really much brought up with music. When I came here in 1985, well, you had the MTV and you had the box and the TMF music television, where you could see a lot of clips, and hip hop music really touched me. And the thing is, because my English wasn't that good, I couldn't really understand what they were saying. But the music and the rhythm, when you talk about Jungle Brothers, was like really similar to the music I was listening when I was in Africa, and also very similar to Afro beats, 𝗬𝗚𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗚. So I could find myself in there, and the evolution when hip hop came. You're like 15, you're having like this identity crisis.
You're a teenager trying to find your way.
I can say that now.
Yeah.
So first of all, you will kind of look for how to dress.
Yeah.
How to fit in.
How to express yourself.
How to express yourself, and that was always a problem.
Still it. No, I'm kidding.
And first the right sneakers, understand what you were supposed to wear, because I was also going a lot to New York, because my aunts used to live in New York, my mother's younger sister. And I would always come back with these leather jackets with USA in the back, and I had this, I think this Run DMC bomber jacket with the jeans and the Reeboks and the Adidas. I wasn't really a fan of Nike, because the feet will go in a point, you understand? I will always, because I was ashamed of my feet. I have big feet, to my knowledge.
Right.
I was like wearing size 44, so you always wear a smaller size. And Nike's smaller size wasn't really comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, so I was
Cut
like,
off your toes.
You understand? So I was always wearing like Reeboks, you know, and 𝗧𝗏𝗏 as well. I was also wearing 𝗧𝗏𝗏.
𝗧𝗏𝗏, yeah.
And yeah, so the whole hip hop culture, I didn't even know it was a culture first, because what was the definition of culture? The whole movement became a way of life, you know, listening to the music, expressing yourself through the lyrics, you know, having a reflection, looking at the people on television. And because I love to dance, I was always looking for dancers on television. You know, that's actually the first thing you'll be connected to, is like what you see on television, and you try to, you know,
emulate it, yeah.
Yeah, do exactly what they are doing. And yeah, so I think that became a bigger thing. You know, always listen to, you know, to music on your Walkman.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, buying records, you know, because that was the only way you could really, you know, have something with you, the records. And,
you keep playing it instead of having to listen to the radio waiting for your song to come on.
Yeah, no, that you also look at the record and see how people was dressed, and you would try to imitate.
Yes.
You know, I was not really a big fan of what Jungle Brothers was wearing, because that was also very close to Africa. But I was very much, you know, Heavy D and the Boys.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You know, Big Daddy Kane with a high top.
Yeah.
You know, Scoop and Scrap Lover, the dancers of Big Daddy Kane. I was like really trying to imitate that. You know, like the blockhead. But my hair was curly, so every time I'll fix a blockhead and put gel in it. It would yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so yeah, that became a bigger by the years, and I really.
The hair, or no, I'm kidding.
The hair, and you know, the thing is, we had a crew called Name, and 4 members, and the surname of everybody was actually the first letter of the crew. So we had 𝗬𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗧.
𝗬𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗧.
Yeah, John Agésilas, 𝗦𝗢𝗘𝗘𝗥𝗏𝗏, and 𝗧𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 you know, high top with curls, and it was really,
That's hilarious.
you know, and then we had the baggy pants, you know, and the long shirts and t-shirts, and that was actually the whole look and feel of the crew, but also had to do because we're all watching these video clips,
right?
You know, Chop Rock, you know, the dances, the Big Daddy Kane, like I said, you know, watching like Queen Latifah, watching like Kid and Play, very much influenced by the American culture when it came to hip hop.
Right. So you said you went to New York a lot because your aunt lived there. Yeah. Did you pick up stuff in New York from the streetwear, the fashion?
I loved it.
I mean, because you know you watch it on TV, but did you also take notes from every time you were in New York? I mean, you said you bought the jackets and stuff.
You know, the hoodies, no, the whole look. Yeah. The hoodie, the leather jacket, the baggy pants, and the sneakers. That was, you know,
that was New York.
That's you know, you want people to see you.
Yeah.
That has to do with, you know, being a teenager and wanting to fit in, and you know.
How did people respond to that when you were walking around over here?
Some people try to beat me up for my clothes.
Really?
Yeah. At school.
Did it work? Did
Not
you
really.
give up your?
Not really.
Okay, you kept your clothes on.
I kept my clothes on, but the thing is like, because it felt like he was always 2 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. You were always coming with fresh gear.
Yeah, that wasn't out here yet.
Yeah.
I did the same.
I mean, and when I was in Africa, you always wanted to have the latest sneakers, but you didn't really have the money for it. And you didn't really have, you couldn't buy it because it wasn't there. So you would just wait for your aunt or your uncle or your mom
go somewhere to get it.
And send you the sneakers, and you wear the same pair of sneakers for 2 years.
Until the new ones come.
You understand?
To you,
And the culture of cleaning your sneakers became a thing. So when I came here, you had the right cleaning material and not the, you know, the drift and all that. You're messing up your sneakers.
Yeah. That's
trying
funny.
to keep them clean. You understand?
I use that too.
Yeah. So yeah, I was always coming with new stuff. Always.
Okay, so fast forward. That's how you got caught in what we now call the culture.
Yeah.
At the time, you weren't aware of that yet. Dancing, because what I hear from your story is that you were into pretty much all the elements very early on.
Yeah.
And but dancing became probably one of the biggest things for you, and it's one of the things that you're most known for, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah.
How did you find that love for dancing?
Dancing became a tool to communicate. I was very introvert. First, it had to do with the language.
Yeah.
And didn't really know how to express myself, because you're trying to fit in, so you're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
But trying to be cool looking stupid is still cool.
In your own head.
You know what I'm saying? So I always had a problem with my identity. And because you come in a country, you don't speak the language, you don't know the people, you know, you have people look just like you, but not really actually come from where you come from. And being an African then wasn't really cool.
Nope.
Because I felt more African than European. I mean, if you know, my father is French. Because I was brought up in Africa, very close to my mom.
Yeah.
So the fact that being an African wasn't cool, you were kind of doubting and not really wanting to show people where you was coming from.
Right.
So that became a big thing. So the fact that I got, you know, new friends, and you kind of had like a new family who could understand what you were saying, and you also all speaking the same language, and that was dancing. So we went to the clubs like 6-7 days a week, but I was not allowed to dance. My mom didn't want me to dance. My mom was like, you need to be a...
Why not? African mom.
No, yeah, you know, dancing, my mom couldn't really see me taking care of my family with dancing.
With dancing, yeah, exactly.
Couldn't really see me building a career with dancing.
Ooh,
And
did you prove her wrong?
hey, it was a problem. Coming home at freaking 12:05, door closed, sleeping on the stairs and calling your boy, yo, I'm outside, man, can I come to your house? Because, you know, my mom just closed the door. It was like, you know what, let's take the subway and get out.
Wow.
So that was another chance to go out.
Yeah.
So, you know, so you would come knock at the door for her to know that you knocked at the door, but that's another excuse because you knew she was going to close the door so you could take the last subway and go to the club. So it became a routine kind of way. But school wasn't really a good experience because I'm dyslexic. So I had a problem with reading. And first I had to learn the language in like no time.
And Dutch is not an easy language.
Dutch is nasty, man.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's you know, it's
You mastered it.
kind of. I'm still learning. So I had to force myself to speak the language because my mom always said, listen, you need to speak the language to understand what people are saying about you when they're sitting next to you and you not knowing, thinking they're saying good things about you because they're smiling with you.
Right.
So that was, for me, another reason, a motivation to really learn the language in no time.
Right.
But I had to go from French to English, English to Dutch.
Yeah.
And because my English wasn't that good, most of my French, I had to master my English to master my Dutch.
Right.
So that became a heavy task. So I didn't finish my school. I wanted to dance. And this is where dance became a priority. Because
dance was something that you felt comfortable with in doing?
Yeah.
Like, how did you know that you had talent?
How do you know you got talent?
I mean, honestly, you know how to, it's something that you like and you can express yourself, but sometimes I feel like, it might not be for me because I'm not really good at it.
You know the thing with the street and the club? Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
because the people around you would tell you, yo, back then, now
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
I was
now
about to say.
You understand? Now
I
it's
was
a
about to
different
say.
story. Everybody putting feathers up your.
Yeah, never mind. No, but you're absolutely right. Back in the day, people would just cut you off real quick if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, that was the rule of the club. That was the rule of the cipher.
Yeah.
You really, and I had a mentor that was like a mentor that was really hard on me. It was like, if you want to do this, you need to speak the language, you need to dress the language, you need to eat the language.
Sleep
that
it,
is
breathe
sleep
it.
the language. That was about the dance.
Yeah.
You want to do hip hop, know about everything about hip hop.
Yeah.
You want to do jazz, know
Right.
everything about jazz. Know the records, know your artist, know the way they dress, know why they dress that way.
Right.
Where is that coming from? What was it inspired by and motivated from before you do it? And that got stuck in my head. And
That's really good though.
yeah, I took that from then till now.
Yeah. You literally ooze that out.
Yeah.
It's not just doing something because you like it, but knowing the entire history of it.
I mean,
the knowledge.
The first thing is like you like it.
Yeah.
You want to copy it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a thing. And then you need to have the right people around you to tell you, listen, if you want to do this, you have to do the 9 yards.
Yeah, you got to do it all.
You do it all before you say you are.
Yeah.
And now it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But I took that with me with almost everything I'm doing. So I'm always questioning myself in everything I'm doing, which is a problem. Still problem. Like,
well,
check,
I think
double
that,
check,
but you know
check.
what? But that's something that I think a lot of creative people do. Because, you know, you want to keep evolving, keep learning. I don't know. A lot of creative people are hard on themselves. I don't know if I'm saying that's correct, but.
No, you have creatives and you have creatives.
Explain, please. Yeah.
You have for example, you have the people who love dance and people who dance.
Yes. And what's the difference between both, if they're both creatives? Because a person that loves dance doesn't necessarily dance.
Exactly.
They don't have to be creative in that aspect. I mean, I love to watch dance. I'm not that, I mean, I can dance, but.
Then I'm talking about the people who call themselves dancers.
Okay.
Who love dance, and you have dancers who are dancers.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a big difference, yeah. You can't call yourself something if you're not applying it.
You know, is everybody a journalist?
No.
Who likes to be a journalist? Is that there are certain.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Time for the cake.
But then, you know, that's an interesting discussion actually. We could probably talk about this for another hour or more. But okay, but I understand what you're saying. So back to you and your mentor. You had to, well, it got stuck in your head that you had to know the history and why do people do, and what is the movement and why is it like this, and why are people acting a certain way in a certain genre, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you did your studying, but again, what was the point for you that you were like, okay, this is me. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make money with it. I'm gonna just infuse this in my entire life. What was that point for you? And feel free to take a bite.
I'm enjoying that cake.
The cake is the cake is especially for my guests, but also for me.
Once I understood, next to the fun of it, that I could make money with it, and also having the right people around me.
Yeah.
It became more than just a hobby.
Right.
Because I was booked for different events. You know, I was performing with jazz artists. I was performing, you know, in fashion shows. I was doing a lot of modeling. And I could understand that being a dancer wasn't just a dancer. You could do so many different things.
Right.
Yeah, I was interested in being a DJ. I didn't know what the hell that was. I was just watching people and I was like, I can do this too. So I was buying records.
That's what I was saying. Like, you did so much. Like,
yeah, because I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it like to be a DJ?
yeah.
I bought records. Nah, these two crap turntables. You understand the whole thing about mixing, but I could understand that, you know, you had to blend and you had to let people dance.
Yeah.
So I had my first gig. That was, oh my God, that was
Wait, are we talking about DJ gig or dance gig now?
DJ gig
Okay.
at Margaritas.
Margaritas. Okay. Maybe I was there. No, I'm kidding.
So that was like my first DJ gig.
Oh, wow.
Next to the dancing and the modeling and the whole other things. So I was kind of almost everywhere.
Yeah.
But dancing was like, for me,
The number one?
because it really touched me. And
Yeah.
that was like then, and I could make a lot of money with it. And
But again, going back to my question,
yeah.
what was that point that made you realize that? What happened? What was going on? What made you realize it? Or was it a gradual thing?
It was the fun of it. The fun, the drive, the meeting each other and creating dance routines, being among people, getting attention from a lot of people.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, because, you know, when you have a hobby, when you like to do something, whether it's, I don't know, rapping, singing, producing, there's a point where you become serious about it, where you feel like, okay, it's not a hobby anymore, I can do more with this, or people are interested. But not everybody actually follows that feeling. Some people just keep it a hobby, you know.
It was 50% serious and 50% fun, because you were still learning.
Right.
Coming on time,
Yeah.
self-discipline,
Yeah.
practicing, training,
Yeah.
being true to your crew. You know, going to the market on Saturday morning to buy the right clothes.
Yeah.
Going to London, just hiring a car and having no license because you were so driven to get
Yeah.
there, and you need to look right. You need to have the spats. So a friend of ours would just hire a car and we'd just go to London
Right.
with no driver's license. Was so
Back in the day,
dedicated, you know,
you could do that.
dedicated to looking
yeah,
right
and doing your thing.
and doing the thing. So it was a lot of fun. But don't forget, we're also growing up. So that was part of growing up. Identity crisis, trying to fit in.
Right.
But then you found something and you found people around you that would accept you
Yeah.
for who you are and with all the faults and all the good things of you. So that also became very important to stay and keep on being accepted
Yeah.
within that community, because you're
Yeah.
still growing. So it was, the serious thing became the discipline when you had a show, but next to that, having a show was also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The 3 days in the studio rehearsing with so many different people was serious, because you knew you would get cash money
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
end of
yeah,
the
yeah.
gig, but it was
Also
more
fun,
fun
yeah.
than serious.
And you become like a family. Like,
Exactly,
you
you're
know,
always
so,
want to
yeah.
be there
Yeah.
with your boys and the people around you.
Right.
So I don't know if that became like really serious, but it was more the feeling of belonging.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
You understand? And because you was always dealing with your identity. And when you find a place to be where
Yourself,
people,
yeah.
yourself, and people really like you for who you are, with everything around it,
Yeah.
then
Then
it's
you're
a
not
whole
gonna,
package.
Yeah. And you're not going to leave. Yeah.
No, and I think it became more of a serious thing when I decided to register as an entrepreneur.
Self-employed dancer.
Yeah,
Like-
and then you knew you couldn't mess around.
Right.
That was now your job, and
Like,
you had to make money.
You're being a professional now.
Being a professional, whatever that meant then.
Yeah.
So then you register yourself, you feel like you have a certain type of responsibility. And
now you have to take yourself serious.
Yeah, and you want to do things for you now and not work for somebody else. You're still working for somebody else, but that was more like a mind thing.
Yeah, but you're freelance. You're like,
freelance.
Right.
You know, and I think I was like 2000 when I decided to register, and I was like, you know what, now I'm going to do the things myself.
Yeah.
I think that was like a
turning point.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a good one. But I like the fact that you say, you know, because you started off in your story with the identity crisis, who are you? I mean, every young adult has, or teenager, young adult has to figure that out, but for you to find your place with dancing is a beautiful thing. I think that's a great story.
I mean, I realized later how important that was to me when you dive into history and I'm trying to understand where you're coming from even deeper.
Right.
I think that's when my grandfather passed away and I had to go to the village and I could see that there were traditional dancers that were like, that was their task.
Yeah.
They were born to do that.
Dance, yeah.
And they were like part of the king's family and they were born to do that. That was their thing. And I could see like, okay, this is where I'm coming from. Now I understand why I love this so much. It's like going back to my roots.
Yeah.
And when I dove into books and listening to stories, like, you know, dancing was a way that we would, you know, communicate with our ancestors, or whatever community that is, Indians, Africans, or whatever, and the cipher and the whole thing around it, that became very, very serious to me.
Yeah.
But that's later on.
Well, going back to the dancing still, because dancing is a big part of you.
Still is.
You know, keeping it in the culture, and you know, as you know, this show is about everything related to the culture, including fashion, you know, sneakers. You've done choreography for big brands, big names.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because, you know, when we talk about dancing, you have your own shows. You were talking about, you know, you're getting gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
But how does one, because not every dancer does choreography.
No.
You know, there are dancers
We didn't even know it was a choreography.
No,
We're
it's
just
like you
making
just did
moves,
something. Yeah, right.
moves to
You're
the song.
making up moves. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but that's also fun, a funny fact, because not all dancers are able to come up with the moves. They just want to do them. You know, they want to act it out, but they don't necessarily think about what, you know, comes with that. So how did you become a choreographer, as we say now? And how did people approach you for that? How did you come about those opportunities for these brands?
I was selected by to do the G-Star shows. That was back in the days.
When it was 𝗑𝗄𝗄𝗏𝗏𝗏.
When it was 𝗑𝗄𝗏𝗏, it became G-Star. I mean, we're not going to get deep into that conversation. You know, a friend of mine called 𝗬𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏 was directing and co-choreographing the shows of G-Star, because G-Star wanted to have dancers to show their clothes. So he became a G-Star, a dancing fashion show.
Right, wow.
So we did that for a couple of years. And then because I'm a hustler, I like to bluff.
Yeah.
You know, you know, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a lot of contacts around me, and I would go to companies and just bluff.
What is that?
I go like, listen,
I'm a
you
company.
know,
You come to me.
You know, I go like, yo, your clothes look good, but you don't reach the right people. I can help you with that.
Good.
Because I got contact with the street.
Look at you.
And everybody wanted to be part of the street.
Back then already.
The big brands.
Yeah.
And you know, I had a couple of friends who had companies, and they were like, you know, like more the person in between that would deal. So I did a lot of shows for choreographed and I would say produced, choreographed and directed for Foot Locker, America Today,
Nice.
𝗬𝗢𝗗𝗜𝗔𝗏, 𝗬𝗢𝗗𝗜𝗓𝗏,
Wow.
Paul Smith, if I can recall, Adidas, Nike.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of, you know, that's actually my core business.
Right.
But it's because I wanted to challenge myself. I was
Yeah.
like, you know,
Okay, done this. Let's do more.
how would that, you know, what would happen if you do that? Could you do that?
Yeah.
You know, the thing with Foot Locker was actually a massive production, because, you know, they were like, yo, listen, we want to have the whole thing, the whole package. So
What was the show? What was it?
well, you know, we'll choreograph a show, and I had like breakers, jazz dancers, all-round dancers.
But what was it? Presenting a new season, or
Yeah,
what
it was like presenting new clothes.
Okay.
And you know, and Foot Locker is everything: sneakers, clothes,
Yeah.
whatever. And it'll be a show, like a 20-minute show, and you know, we just present the clothes on different seasons and different times.
And was that live, or was that?
It was live.
Okay, it was live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that for a while. Adidas I did as well. And the thing with 𝗬𝗢𝗗𝗜𝗓𝗏, Paul Smith, and 𝗬𝗢𝗗𝗜𝗏𝗧, there was a big show. I think it was, I can't recall. That was such a long time ago.
You're getting old.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, age is a thing. And they asked me, you know, to put all things together. And I also had friends, you know, I had like choreographies already done. And we're like, listen, guys, we're going to put this here, we're going to put that there. Can I have the breakers? Can you guys create something? You know, so I was not really choreographing the breaking,
Right.
but I more let them be free in their own craft,
Right.
and I'll put things together. And I also did the opening of Bollywood in the Amsterdam Arena.
Oh wow.
That was massive. That was
Yeah.
like one of the biggest challenges.
I remember that.
Yeah, biggest challenges I ever had.
Because that was a big thing too. Because
That was
they
like-
never had that before.
No,
over
it was
here,
like
so, yeah.
38 dancers in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like it was a massive production. Massive production.
So was that an ongoing thing for you?
Yeah.
Doing these productions,
Yeah.
these shows, like every year or a couple times a year, or?
Yeah. Like that was what I
That
was
was your
actually
that was
doing.
your
That was
work.
my business
So at the time, were you still doing your own gigs as a dancer?
as well.
As
We'll be
well.
performing for because the thing is, I was doing a particular style that would come from London, actually UK, and it was called jazz fusion.
Jazz
That was
fusion,
like a club style, and I was really inspired by that. I loved it when I saw it. I think that was in a bebop during a school party, and there was this crew that was dancing, fast footwork, chaos.
Right.
But there was a lot of dope stuff in that chaos, and I wanted to do that. So I had a partner called Adolf, who I was dancing with a long time for a while, and then Levi Graham came in the crew, and Dave Graham were like brothers, and we had a crew of 4 people. And this style we're like one of the few people doing that style. So
Right.
a lot of jazz artists would see us and go like, yo, we love what you guys doing.
Come and dance
Could you
with us."
dance for us?
Wow.
You know, so that became also a business, you know.
So you're doing a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot going on back then, and also going to the clubs, because we figured out that all artists would go to the club.
Right.
So
yeah.
going to the club was like a showcase.
Yeah, that's like promoting yourself.
Promoting
like
yourself.
Branding yourself, yeah.
So, you know, so every time we go to the club, like the Richter, God, Roxy,
Yeah.
Havana upstairs, Paradiso. So these were like place where artists were hanging out,
Yeah.
and we're just like, okay, when we go there, we need to show off.
Yeah.
Next to
Get
the
on
love.
the dance
You know,
floor,
there's a
yeah.
love for the dance. So it became like a audition
Yeah.
spot, not knowing who was there.
Yeah, just showcasing yourself.
Showcase
yeah.
your stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and then most of the time we'll be getting gigs
Yeah.
from
From the club.
going to the club. So it became from a club kid to understanding how the machine works.
Yeah, how you get business, how
you get business.
how you network,
Exactly.
how you make yourself known. I mean,
Yeah.
back then we have to understand there was no social media where
No.
you could just post a little
No.
video like, hey,
No.
film me and then I'll post it on.
Yeah.
No, you had to be
You had
amongst
to
the
be at the
people.
right time at the
Yeah,
right
you had
place.
to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
that became a thing, and we're like clubbing 7 days a week, yo. That was
Oh my gosh.
insane.
Yeah, you couldn't do that anymore.
No, I couldn't.
You wouldn't want
I
to.
tried.
Oh, you tried still. Okay, so you're doing all the shows, the producing, but also still, you know, being out there as a dancer with
Yeah.
your crew.
Yeah.
Going back to the fashion thing, before I leap into another question again, you know, yeah, please have a bite of your cake.
I love that cake.
We were talking about it earlier. I won't throw you under the bus, but as I always ask my guests, you know, well, we were talking about fashion brands. So, I mean, I would wonder, did working for those type of brands in fashion, because although it's dancing and doing the production of their shows, you're still getting to know a lot about the fashion and the clothes, the wares. Did it make you more aware of what's out there, and did it change how you felt about fashion while you were doing those shows? No, you don't have to answer me elaborately.
The censored or the uncensored version.
Yeah, no, the real version.
No, you know what the thing is? The fashion business became a thing I didn't want to do anymore.
Okay,
Modeling.
Oh, the modeling, yeah.
Because that was a part of fashion.
Right.
Because I couldn't pretend to be somebody else.
Right.
Because I went through this whole process at
Right,
the beginning.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what, that makes sense.
So I was like, nah, this is nothing for me. You know, the modeling and, you know, always coming to a place, taking like 20,000 pictures or whatever, you know, hanging on billboards and everything. But it's a certain way of life that wasn't fitting with my I wanted
Your
to stay,
identity.
I wanted to stay true to myself. And I was always the one with a big mouth. You know, I was always saying things, and that would work against me. And because I was saying things and then thinking after, because you're like, rah!
Yeah.
You know?
You're out of
And
emotion in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a very emotional person. I have to deal with that now. Think before you say something, not from emotion.
Well, we learn. We live and we learn. Yeah, trust me,
like,
I was the same.
Oh my God, what did I say? And so I step out of that. I just cut it, stopped
Okay,
it.
but we're talking about the modeling. I understand that,
Yeah.
but what I meant was,
The clothing.
Yeah, like you're expressing, like, you know, I mean, we don't wear the same things we used to wear. We change as people, so you express different as people. I mean, I kind of sort of still wear the same things, but did it change your way of dressing and expressing through fashion?
There's one thing, and it's actually the same thing. It didn't change actually when I look at it.
You know,
I'm a denim freak. I always was a denim freak. And when I started understanding denim, like I'm a big freak of Japanese denim.
Okay.
So I would go to Japan and buy my denim.
Wow.
Because I was in Japan like once or twice a year. I would buy like 6 or 7 different pairs of jeans.
Such a luxury position. I just go to Japan and
Yeah,
buy my jeans
like,
there because I'm a fan of Japanese denim. I mean, if
got-
we
you
could
know-
all just say that. I'm a fan of French couture. Let me just fly there.
I love 𝗍𝗢𝗄 and I love 𝗦𝗢𝗘𝗥𝗝𝗔𝗚.
Okay.
So I would specially go there, order my pair. Like I would step out of the plane, go to the hotel, go straight to the shop
store,
because I know it takes like 6 days because they do it with the hand.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? So I know by the time I have to leave, my jeans are ready.
Yeah, you had your whole strategy.
Yeah, I was like, so I love denim.
Wow.
And sneakers.
Yeah,
And t-shirts. So my big thing is like denim, sneakers, and t-shirts.
You still do
That's
it,
like,
yeah.
I'm still doing that. But I'm not doing it now to belong. I'm
You
doing
do
it
it-
now because I love it.
Right.
And it's a certain look that I always kept.
Right.
You understand? And that did it. Sorry, the cake.
It's
Wow.
okay.
That's on tape.
Yeah.
that didn't really change.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Oh, well, that's, you know, hearing somebody tell a story about finding their identity, having found it and sticking with that, and that means that you really, really found it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because obviously when we talk to people, we always try to find the things that we relate to. At least I do. And, you know, finding that piece of who you are, I relate to that. And then when I was telling you about, when I was just saying, you know, we change as people and we dress different, I honestly don't dress different either. You know, of course I had my little trendy phases, or, you know, when you were younger, but pretty much always resort to jeans and sneakers as well.
You know, I mean, when there was like a gala or whatever and I would have to wear a suit, I'd go like,
it's nice to do it for one time.
Yeah, but you know, my outfit with my jeans and sneakers costs more than your suit. So why should I go buy a suit?
I mean, if you calculate in the cost of the ticket to Japan as well,
you know
the outfit will cost more.
I mean, buy a freaking 𝗦𝗘𝗘𝗥𝗝𝗅. That's not like a €120 pair of jeans.
Right.
You know, if you buy like special pair of sneakers like Wovens, for example, that's not like a €90, €180. No. You understand? And I'm having the Wovens of the 2000s still in the box that are probably like $800 on the market. I'll wear that instead of wearing a suit.
How does that work for jeans though? Because sneakers, I mean, feet can change a little bit, but so much. You know, I know people whose foot size changed, but if you buy these jeans, does it also require you to stay in that same size?
That is an excuse to stay fit.
Yeah. No, it's not an excuse, it's a reason.
It's a reason to stay fit.
It's a reason to stay fit.
You know, I mean, I still have jeans.
I'm like, yo, that's like, if you go to Japan and buy your jeans, you better keep fitting them.
I have like a 𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗥𝗝𝗅 of the 90s. I still have that in my closet.
I still have my 𝗧𝗘𝗘𝗥𝗝𝗅, that's it.
You understand what I mean? It's still there. And okay, I don't fit those anymore, but I mean, the ones of the year.
But you can't throw them out.
No, I'm not going to throw them out. It's like, you know, the one with the big M in the back and the silk. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's
That's
still,
like vintage right now.
Vintage.
Yeah, it's vintage.
And it's still in my closet.
Yeah.
I wish I could wear them though.
You know, the reason I ask is because a couple of years ago, I gained a lot of weight. Well, not a lot, but I gained weight to where I had to change.
Should that be on tape?
That's okay. I changed my size, but I'm a nudie jeans person, and nudie is not.
What is a
nudie
cheap jeans person?
A person that wears nudie jeans.
Ah,
it's a brand.
Nudie
jeans is a brand. Nudie jeans is a brand.
Jeans.
Nay, nudie jeans is a brand.
Ah, okay.
But it's not cheap. And I grew out of those pants. And I was upset because they're not, you know, you can still wear them if you lose your weight. But I never gain or lose weight like that. And it was the first time in my life that I changed size and I didn't fit my jeans anymore.
So what happened?
Well, I bought bigger ones, bigger size.
I thought you went to the gym and...
No, I actually bought new ones. Again, not cheap. I didn't fly to Japan. It was just a store here.
I'll go to the gym.
But then, no, I did go to the gym, and then I started going to the gym, and then I started losing weight, and then I had all these pairs of expensive jeans that I also don't fit anymore, but I had tossed the other ones out, or I gave them away. I gave them to Goodwill and stuff. And now I'm like, okay, I got to keep at least a couple pair if I go up and down again. But that was terrible. That's why I'm like, I can't imagine buying even more expensive jeans and flying to Japan for it and then not fitting them.
You know, next to the fact that there is an event in Japan that we have, my biggest purpose is the jeans and the sneakers.
That's hilarious.
Next to the event. The event is work and fun, but then I always calculate, come there a week before.
So you have enough time
for
that,
for the
jeans, yeah.
You also have to get out of the jet lag. It's a massive, nasty jet lag. And then have the event. So that's like
that's how you plan your trips.
My purpose.
Yeah. What jeans and sneakers are you wearing today?
𝗦𝗘𝗘𝗥𝗝𝗅. I'm having a 𝗧𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗏𝗏 shirt. And these are the Air Max 96 Tri-X. Thank you.
Little inside joke.
You know, kudos to the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And why did you choose this outfit today? I know that you weren't specifically thinking about our interview, but what made you feel? Well, I mean,
no, I was like,
oh, you
when
were.
When I got out of the house, like, when is the interview? Is it today? What time? I was like, so I had no idea. You know, I didn't shave, and I was like, you know,
It's cool. We like people to just be themselves.
So no, I just felt comfortable.
Good, because you told me you were wearing the wovens for the past few days.
Yeah.
And then you were like, let me put something else on my feet.
Yeah, because the Air Max, when you kind of walk with your heel up.
Yeah.
And the woven's kind of flat. And I have problems with my Achilles because I give too many lessons.
Okay.
So then when
your Achilles is literally your Achilles heel.
Yeah, I know. But,
I'm sorry, I'm so lame.
It's all right, it's all good. So this is why sometimes just to relax.
Right.
I wear the woven because it's flat.
So it takes off the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. When your heel is up, you always have pressure on your calves.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with.
So okay, back in your early days, you said you didn't like Nike because of your feet. What's going on with Nike right now? Because you're wearing Nike.
Yeah, they got the right models, man.
Yeah, they changed all the models,
They changed.
Yeah.
They went, and I was like, oh, actually.
Well, yeah. Well, how did you even know that?
I was very inspired by the wovens, and they used to have this ninja slippers. You understand with the toe?
Yeah.
I had so many pair of those.
Wore them out?
I wore them out, but you couldn't wear them with socks. So then I had to throw them away because they were stinking hard, man. My feet were sweating in those. So, and then when I saw the wovens, a friend of mine used to wear them, Gary Nurse, not a fashion freak. When I saw the wovens, I was like, what kind of sneakers are these? They look like slippers.
They look comfortable though.
Comfortable, like, how do you say that in English? Pantoffels.
Yeah, house shoes.
Yeah,
slippers.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, and it's fashion.
Yeah.
I was like,
comfortable fashion.
Comfortable fashion.
Yeah, that's new.
And then I kind of copied his style with the wovens back in the days. And then it became my own because I was like, yo, this just fits perfectly.
Right.
And Air Max from the beginning till the end. I was an Air Max freak.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because back in the day, it was not really, done to wear sneakers under everything. Now I can't wear heels. It's just not for me. I'm not one of those ladies. So for it to become fashion is only great for me because now nobody's looking at me weird for wearing sneakers under dresses or skirts or whatever. Because it always fits now. It's fashion.
The English dancers, when we used to have the auditions, the English would dress in a certain type of way. You wear like pants and sneakers under it.
Like slacks.
Yeah, it was like, that's one weird, and it looks dope. Like,
you gotta get used to it because you don't
pants
put
to
that,
go out.
Yeah.
But sneakers under it, and they were always wearing 95s. And that looked so dope. And I was like, that's a dope style. It's a mixed streets, casual, but really dope.
Yeah.
And that so touched me.
Yeah.
Dancers always dress in some type of way. You walk on the street, you see someone go like, oh, that's a dancer.
I think it's the combination of style and comfortability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to feel comfortable.
Style and comfort, yeah.
And you still have to look good.
I'm not a dancer, but I kind of like it. Style and comfort. I go for that. I'm not a dancer, not claiming to be, but I go for style and comfort.
So that's why the sneakers, next to the fact that, it felt comfortable. The only problem is I could never find the right sneaker to dance on.
What are your favorite sneakers to dance with?
There are none.
There's still none?
None.
So what do you
Actually, the
use now?
wovens, but you don't want to dance in wovens.
Or maybe just 5 minutes.
Because of the the
The
sole.
sole's too flat.
It's flat, and that is good
Yeah.
because it slides. But
It doesn't have
I
any support.
haven't found the right pair of sneaker to
Maybe that
dance
should
on.
be your next mission. Design a sneaker for dancers.
Bring it on.
That's actually a really good
Oh, you
one.
just, you just put something in the universe.
I'm telling you.
You're gonna manifest it.
Listen, we speak things into existence in my show. I'm looking at the time though. Let's get on because
wow.
I want to talk at least about two or three more things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the DJing. We kind of touched on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Summer Dance Forever.
Wow.
Just before we go into the foundation. Summer Dance Forever. I have to address it because it's a big thing. It's globally known. It's one of the biggest dance events, festivals, what you want to call it, conventions of the world. I just wanted to mention it because I'm proud to have you here. One of the, if not the founder of Summer Dance Forever.
So what do you want to know about it?
I don't know. I just wanted to address that he's the guy.
Look, Summer Dance Forever.
What is Summer Dance Forever for you? Just in
Summer
short.
Dance Forever is a festival based on club and street culture. I mean, I would say that.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
There are 3 founders.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm co-founder, artistic leader. That's 𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗔𝗞𝗦, 𝗦𝗢𝗘𝗥𝗍𝗘𝗏, and myself. It started in 2009 when 𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗏𝗧 wanted to celebrate his 25th anniversary as a DJ. Because the thing is, like, when we used to go to the Roxy, baseline, Case was one of the DJs playing at baseline, and we were like the dancers on the dance floor.
Right.
So we're always creating that cipher and the ambiance in the club. So then you were like, how can I bring dancers back on the dance floor? There's too much of these pump your fist people. Would you like to do something together?
People.
I was like, yo, why not? So, how can we have the dance on the dance floor? So I was like, you know what? Let me think of something.
Yeah.
So I went with my wife into a restaurant, and she always challenges me, and came with a concept based on club, and like what we used to do back in the days. The cipher, the people in the cipher are the dancers, and they are the judges.
All right.
When you get whipped, your ass whipped, smacked, you get out, go home, practice, come back the next day or come back the next week and try again.
Yeah.
But the people around the cipher know, man, you got your ass kicked, man. Get out.
Yeah.
Next. So things like battle will happen until after 12, and the dancers will stay in the club because the party will start from 12, and then
later,
and they will stay in the club on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And the concept that the judges choose the best knockout system, 24, 12, 3, 6, 3, and any dancer chooses a judge to challenge. That's actually the concept because the judges are dancers.
Right. They know what they're talking about.
When you talk about dance, yeah?
Right.
It's like, why did you choose these, and why you sit in that chair? So now you're gonna have to, tell us why and show us why.
That's good.
And it's also education because the people sitting around learn from what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And it's not actually about winning, it's about exchanging and challenging each other. And also part of the concept is like the crowd also chooses
participation,
the winner. And that became a thing.
Yeah, that's dope, yeah.
And we did that with house, and then after that was like, you know what, if we do that with house, we can do it with hip hop.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have enough days in a week, so then we made a festival out of it. And the thing is, like, the music, which is also very important because the music challenges the dancer. And then we also wanted to show the difference between a showcase and a theater performance within hip hop culture. So then we had the theater nights, where people could see what hip hop is in theater.
Theater form,
Yeah, so then you had the battles, the after parties, which like the club nights, and then you had the theater, then you had seminars where people could talk.
Yeah.
So it's very much an exchange festival.
That's
talk, dance, look, listen.
You listen,
Yeah.
No, I love the fact that you explained that, because maybe not everybody knows what the festival is really about, because it's a known name.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it in this detail. I don't, because I'm not a dancer. I don't go there every year. But that's really good to know, and I love the vision behind it. Because I'm looking at my time, going into the next vision you have, which is, something that I'm also very excited about. The foundation. We are here in the spot, in the place to be, Amsterdam Zuidoost. 𝗬𝗢𝗗𝗜𝗥𝗏𝗧. The foundation. What is the foundation? It's a hip hop academy, but I know let's try to keep it
keep it short.
Yeah, keep it short.
You know what the thing is about foundation? Why? Because I'm very much go back to the basics.
Yeah.
Know where you're coming from to know where you're going. I live in Southeast since 1985, and I see and I feel that we do not create legacy when it comes to dance. Yeah. And we need to focus on the next generation.
Yes.
And peace, love, unity, respect, and having fun.
Yes.
This is where I come from. Community. And it's community building. It's exchanging from the peer to the junior, from the junior to the peer, from the junior to the junior, and the peer to the peer. So the thing is, like, when you talk about graffiti, talk about MCing, talk about rapping, talk about DJing, breaking, which is like the pillar of dance. You talk about knowledge, literature, the 21st century skills that have been in hip hop for a very long time, which is not hype. Use hip hop to share knowledge and really share about the culture, because everybody has a story. Told by different peers and pioneers within the culture to the youth.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for me, it is really, really important to have the next generation take over with the knowledge I have now.
Yeah. Pass on,
but in a younger age. So my knowledge at the age of 52 to, being passed on by somebody of the age of 30.
Right.
For example.
Right.
So this is what actually foundation is about. It's education, it's culture, and it's community building.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And this is honestly, this is the short version, because I asked you to do, because we could sit here another hour. But if people want to know more about foundation, please go look it up, foundation.nl, because learning through. How did you say it? Learning through hip hop, learning through creativity, instead of the usual ways, the conventional ways, is something that a lot of kids, a lot of people in new generation can benefit from.
And when we talk about hip hop, we immediately go into the negative side of hip hop. I mean, there's so...
We don't, but
no, but
in general,
when we talk about,
general
drill rap, and I mean, if you look at the 90s, you also had, everything has a good and a bad side, you understand? But what is the good side about hip hop?
Right.
What is good and bad? There's still knowledge to learn from. You understand? If you talk about activism, standing for who you are and speaking, with what you have, it's also hip hop. I went through a lot, and hip hop helped me get out of my identity crisis.
Yeah.
So if it did that to me,
same.
You understand, it could do a lot to the new generation who's like now be washed away by a wave of so many information and not know what is the right information. Yeah. So we can help,
That's a really good way to say it.
With the knowledge we have.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So
no, I
this
completely
is also...
completely agree. And definitely about the whole putting it in a positive light and using the positive side to teach the new generation and to help them maybe see things faster than we did.
Sharing knowledge.
And get to their goals faster than we did because we had to figure it out ourselves. No, I love this initiative, this thing that you're doing right now. Great job. I mean, honestly, it's just impressive.
It's a challenge.
But everything in life is a challenge. If you want to accomplish something, it always takes struggle and hard work, but definitely passion and drive, and you have that. I didn't really want to use only 5 minutes to discuss this, but it's your late. But you have like 30 plus years of things you've done. It's impossible to put everything in 1 hour. But definitely to round up the conversation, this is your latest project. This is what you're doing. How is the cake?
The cake's fantastic. Yours is done before mine.
Because you talk more because you're the guest, so I can just happily eat on. Shout out Vicento Cakes. What are some of the things that you have on your plate that you want to put out there in the world, or promote, or I mean, of course, the foundation, but
next to foundation, and Summer Dance Forever.
Was it here last year? Was it here during the pandemic, Summer Dance Forever?
We went online. We had a hybrid edition, which was massive. So
And this year it's normal again?
Yeah, it's normal again. We're all opened, 2022. These are two big projects that are taking a whole lot of my time. So I always get a challenge on my path, and my biggest thing is always education. So whatever I can use to educate and share knowledge with the other, that I think that is
that's what you stand for.
My mom always said I wanted you to be a preacher. I was like, Mom, preaching through hip hop.
Yes, amen. I hear you. Well, knowing that you have so much on your plate and that your schedule is so crazy because we've been trying to do this for a while, I really appreciate you taking the time out to sit and talk and be part of the paycheck, because I really think that your story needs to be shared and this knowledge needs to be
thank
documented.
you for the interview and the cake.
You're welcome.
And the knowledge.
So if people want to reach you, where can they reach you? Let them know.
You just come to the school, yo. It's right here.
Foundation, Southeast Amsterdam,
www.foundation.nl.
See how old school this guy is? He still says www. Who does that? I'm sorry, I had to point it out. But
listen, you come to the school. That's actually where I'm mostly, spending my time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, John.
Thank you, Pei.
All right.
It was great.
See you guys next time.